much coffee do you drink each day?
3 or 4 cups.
Yeah.
2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon.
Doesn't keep you awake at night?
I like coffee.
All right. Very good. Second serious question. Favorite movie?
Oh, that's easy. Tombstone. I
Tombstone.
love those cowboy movies.
Yeah. What do you love about Tombstone?
It's quick and witty, quotable. A lot of my friends know the lines. I'm your Huckleberry, or you're no Daisy. The just funny lines that always stick and make for good humor.
Excellent. Favorite city in the world to play a concert?
Ooh, that's tough. I would say Houston, at the Woodlands in particular. We just did it. We started our tour off this year. The show there was sold out, and pandemonium, and it's always great to see a lot of bodies in the seats and see them enjoying. But there's lots of places I love playing. We were in Kansas City last night, and that was a phenomenal show. So there's all over, but Houston just because it's home.
Does it matter more who you're with than where you're at? Like, does the crowd make the concert?
There's always either, to me, what makes a great show is when the energy of the audience matches the energy of the entertainer. And you can go out sometimes and that you're having a phenomenal show vocally, you're singing great, the band's playing great, and the crowd's just kind of there, but I always look at it like an elephant. You don't just try to move them all at once. You just take your time, and I can say that there's been very few concerts in my life that didn't end up where I wanted them to by the last song.
Fantastic. Favorite city in the world to visit for vacation?
I like Rome, and I've only been there once, but we were there for a couple of weeks, and that was an incredible experience. But here in the States, I would say that I really like San Antonio. It's got all the charm to it, the Riverwalk, food, people, language. You can speak Spanish there, which I love Spanish, and I just really like the feel of San Antonio.
You grew up in Texas. What was life like as a child?
Life as a child was, as I look back now, the innocence of it was. So I think we all miss that, as adults. And I like to say, that I might grow old, but I'll never grow up. I grew up as a child on a ranch or farm that was passed down in my family for generations and generations. And there's I take a lot of pride in that. We were poor. We worked for everything that we got. I tease my kids, that I grew up hunting because we had to. We killed whatever we ate, and that might be a squirrel, it might be a raccoon, and my kids look at me like, with tears in their eyes, a raccoon, really, Dad? But there's something to be said, for feeling hungry, and my kids will most likely never experience that, but I look back and relish, how I grew up, that we had to learn how to survive, and that's good.
When you were 9 years old, you got your first guitar. What do you remember about that?
My dad, as early as I can remember, played guitar and sang. And, all of my aunts and uncles, they all played instruments and would sing. I just thought everybody did that, and I wanted my dad to teach me how to play guitar. And so at age 9, he bought me this Catalina guitar. This thing was a piece of junk. And the strings were so far off of the neck that I could barely press them down. And later on in life, I'd asked my dad, why would he get me a guitar like that? He said, because I knew that if you really wanted it bad enough, that you would realize that there's pain in it. And he ended up buying me a great guitar, later. But that was it was a moment for me that getting that first guitar, it's like getting your first horse or your first car. It was exciting, but that was just the beginning. There was a lot of work that went into becoming a musician.
When did you first think, that's what I want to do with my life?
When I was 15 years old, I was in this talent contest at South Park High School in Beaumont, Texas, and I had the choice of either doing this country song by John Conley called Rose-Colored Glasses, or this song by Lionel Richie called All Night Long, which is a huge Lionel Richie song. And my dad was stone cold country singer. I mean, he believed in two kinds of music, country and western, and that's all we listened to in the truck. It's just the way I grew up. But I tried different genres, especially Lionel Richie. I love Lionel Richie, and so I sang all night long at this predominantly African American high school, and I learned something about myself. That I wanted to please the audience in front of me. I wasn't just doing it for me. There was this deep desire to please the people in front of me, and so I did this song, and the crowd was going berserko. I mean, standing up, yelling, screaming in the middle of the song. I mean, it literally was like I could feel. My only time I've ever had stage fright was that night when I first started out. I was having stage fright. Never have I had it since. The audience cured me of that. We'd replace the stage fright with this voracious appetite to please and become an entertainer. And I knew that night I was 14 or 15, and that this is what I was going to do the rest of my life.